I learned more about life than I did about music from him.
Okay, let's talk about your the beginning of your career a bit. Because you moved to Mississippi. Can you tell me how that happened?
After I was in high school, I, through a series of happenstance, got an offer to work at this radio station in Mississippi, and decided to forego college and move down there. And it unfortunately didn't pan out, the whole radio station thing, but I stayed there and played music and lived there and experienced it.
What happened to the radio station?
The guy who I was going to work with, he didn't have his money right, so it didn't work out.
Because it does exist.
It does now. Actually, well, what happened was at the time it was a satellite radio station, and then he wanted to make it into a live station again with live DJs, and it didn't work. But later on, actually, some people that I know did end up doing it. So now there are live shows on WROX in Clarksdale.
So then you stayed there in Clarksdale.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you stay there? What was it? What kind of town was it?
Small, It's a rough place. I stayed there because I didn't really have I didn't really have anything else to do. I had already got an apartment. I had already moved. So I figured I might as well stay and see what there was to be seen. So I stayed and ended up meeting a lot of great people and playing a lot of music and I never lived on my own before, so it's definitely a different experience.
And you eventually you came to play with blues legends like Sam Carr. How did that happen? How did you meet him?
Sam was just around. He's just around town, He lived in Lula, which is like 20 miles from Clarksdale, so he'd come into town pretty often and with people, and I met him through other people that I was playing with, and we got along really well because I played kind of the music that he liked, which was more of in that older style at the time when I was playing. So Sam and I started playing as duos. He played drums and I played guitar and harmonica, and we'd play real, down home music. And there was all the younger musicians in Clarksdale were playing more like up to date. They playing like more like Albert King, Tyrone Davis, stuff like that, which I love too. I played that stuff too. But Sam was upset because nobody was playing the real older down home like juke style. So we did that together.
And what did you learn from him?
I learned a lot of things, man.
One thing. Name one thing.
Man, I learned how to fix cars. I learned about
Well, what about music? What did you learn musically from him?
He just would we would go out to his house and he'd put on tapes for me and say you should listen to this. You don't know how to do this, and we just sit and play. And I learned more about life than I did about music from him. Music and it's all kind of like intertwined in a particular way. So he just taught me all sorts of things about everything.
Is he still alive today?
No, he passed last year.
Okay. That's also that era is where you got your nickname.
That's right.
Paperboy. Do people still ask you about it a lot? How you got that name?
Yeah, too often.
Yeah, does it bother you?
I feel like I brought it on myself, so.
So I don't mind too much.
No, it's all right. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, so because it's your grandfather's hat.
Yeah.
And you've also told that you still keep that hat. And
I do.
For the rest of your life. Why is that so important to you?
No, it was mostly because it was my grandfather's.
And why is that grandfather so important?
He passed. He was an important person in my life, and gave me that hat. As a gift to me before he died.
Is that the last thing you have of him? Maybe?
Yeah. So, and I can't. It's broken, and I used to wear it every day, so now it hangs on my wall.
Yeah. Forever.
Yeah.
And you're not the only one with a nickname. Everybody in the band has one.
It's kind of a joke.
yeah. Why all?
Well, because I had one, so everybody kind of we joked, and some people actually have real nicknames, and some people don't.
Can you explain some of them? Because I read some like Sleepy Cheetos.
Well, Patrick is very sleepy and eats flaming hot Cheetos all the time, so hence Sleepy Cheetos.
And like what RoboCop scientist?
Well, Ben, if you know him, is a scientist and also moves like RoboCop. You kind of have to get to know Ben to understand why he's a RoboCop scientist. It's a little bit, tricky, but it makes sense.
Well, because you kind of do have the coolest nickname, don't you think?
Who's that?
The coolest nickname.
RoboCop
yourself.
scientist?
No, yours.
I don't know. I think Mike
What do
has
you
the coolest nickname.
Mike?
Mike is money.
Money. Oh
And
yeah.
that's big people really call him that. That's just really his nickname. So.
That's probably because his last name, right? Montgomery.
I don't remember why we started calling him that. Something for some other reason. But it was, you know, it stuck.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on the subject of names, your Reed is not your real last name.
No.
It's what's it? Husok? Yusok? How do you?
People can find out for themselves if they would like to Google.
Okay. Well, why did you change it?
You know, just wanted something that I felt like people could pronounce a little bit easier, and just pick something out of the air that you know.
Just randomly?
Yeah, pretty much.